This is episode 11 of Pitchin' It with Ben. In this episode, I am joined by LPGA Tour player, 4-time Solheim Cup Team member, Lizette Salas. We talk about this season, her consistent play in the majors, Solheim Cup experiences on and off the golf course, and 80s music. It's always fun catching up with Lizette, and we talk about all this and more on episode 11. And please like, rate, comment, subscribe, and share. Thanks for listening. So, I am joined today by my good friend, LPGA
player. You want me to introduce myself? I'm just kidding.
4-time Solheim Cup Team member, Lizette Salas. Lizette,
What up?
what's going on? How's it going? You know, we're recording this under the timing. I don't think we'd be recording this under normal circumstances. It's like Pro-Am Day. We're recording this the week of Portland, and obviously things are pretty like wild, crazy,
Yeah.
not good. What's happening there? What's it like?
It's nothing that I've ever experienced before. We're in the middle of wildfires all over Oregon, and our tournament has been shortened to 54 holes, and luckily we are able to practice, but it's optional. But this place looks super foggy, but it's smoke. Yesterday I was only out for a few minutes at a time, and my throat was itchy. I was getting a headache. Like, it's really bad. So I know the tour is doing everything they can, and we obviously want to play under the best conditions. So everything's just kind of up in the air. But as of now, it looks like we are playing. So we're fortunate for that.
I gotcha. It's been so like strange. Like being here in the Midwest, obviously like different climate, but
Yeah.
we saw California, like all the sky's orange, which you guys were in California last week, and you had off week before that, so maybe you were at home, like you witnessed some of that too.
Yeah, I mean, growing up in SoCal, you're just you're prone to wildfires. There was one kind of near my hometown, and didn't affect homes or anything, but to be so close to them here in Oregon and to see like Northern California just being orange and people, thousands and thousands of people being evacuated, like this is real life stuff. And I mean, I guess not being able to play golf isn't the biggest problem in the world right now. So just kind of taking that into consideration, and everyone's praying and hoping everyone stays safe.
Yeah, I don't even know how to, like, 2020, obviously we all know we've all been affected by it in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all happening in the midst of a pandemic, which is still very real and still happening. Which it's like harder. And then can you believe, like, I just got to thinking about last week that Australia, a lot of the players, and like they just had fires at the beginning of the year. And like, whoa, that was this year. It just feels like so long ago.
I know. This whole, like, I can't believe we're in September, and I can't believe, like, yesterday it was exactly a year from the Solheim Cup in Scotland, and just how things have dramatically changed, not only for me, but for everyone. And I think I told you last night, like, I feel like this tour can't catch a break, but that's just how 2020 is for everybody. At some point or at some level, we're all struggling just to either adapt to what's going on or to just make each day better. I must say 2020 does suck, but we're all doing our best, and I'm sure great things will come after we pull through all of this.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to, like, whatever they always say, like, the
like what are they? Well, what do they say? The
But
the night is always darkest before the dawn. Oh, I'm taking that from Batman, from the Dark Knight. Well, wait for that dawn. Wait for the sun to rise. Like we can kind of get some more positive things going on. But on a positive note, though, like led by Commissioner Juan, and all like these amazing sponsors. I don't think any of the major title sponsors have dropped their support of the tour. I believe, is that correct? To your knowledge, like it's really amazing people that have stood up.
Yeah, definitely. And even with like last minute events like the Drive On Championship in Toledo, there's another one coming up soon in Georgia. Just amazing people that believe in our tour and in our commissioner, to give us playing opportunities during all this hectic, time. And, we're able to play majors, even though it's not the same major feel, with our fans and things like that. But we're just really lucky and really fortunate to still be able to compete and to, to show our faces to the world on TV that we're still here grinding every day and trying to, win championships.
So yeah, it's been really cool to see the support and like the fans. Like, I think that we know that women's golf, like the sport for women's golf, isn't necessarily at the level that any of us want it to be at this point. However, the people that do support the women's golf and the LPGA, like they're real, and they've been like they were wanting golf back so badly. I think the response has been, really great. I mean, of course, there's a few controversial moments, which I don't want to get into personally. Only the positive stuff, like just seeing people back playing, and but getting back to this return though, it was like, boom! It hit. You hit the ground running really hard. And you played all 5 events, right?
Yeah.
5. What was that like going from like those months off, and then you're like,
so I went through like, playing a lot of golf at the beginning of the pandemic to not playing very little practice, and then kind of trying to catch up like 3 weeks prior to the start of the season. And then we get hit with Inverness. I'm like, oh my, it was like a slap in the face. That place was just incredible. And then to top it off, like to finish that stretch with a major, the British Open, it's like one of the most grueling playing conditions ever. I think I hit a 3-wood like 160. It was bad. Like, and then I hit a 310-yard drive, like coming down the way.
I see you.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was exciting, but I think that's the most golf I've played probably in my entire career, 5 weeks in a row. But I guess just the excitement and the adrenaline to be back was the only way I could push through and play those 5 weeks. And I mean, I didn't necessarily play the way I wanted to, but I have to think about, okay, let's be real. Like, how much preparation did you really have? Being in California wasn't the best practice facilities or whatever, just because of all the restrictions and everything like that. But to finish that week, tie for 19th at the British Open under those conditions, with the amount of practice, I had to rely on a lot of experience, a lot of feel, and just a lot of confidence. So I survived, and now I just have to tune things up and get ready for the rest of the season.
Yeah, you mentioned California. I mean, so in your opinion, like how often are you playing golf courses that are set up that difficult? Like, okay, so you had Inverness, and then you had Troon. Obviously, you can't prepare for Troon. When you have winds going like 30, 40 miles per hour, like if it's blowing that hard, you're staying at home. I'd imagine probably staying at home.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, let's go work on on my game right now because why?
Yeah, absolutely not. Let's see how. Honestly, there are no places in California that I like in my radius that could compare to how difficult Inverness and Troon were. I think I would have to go like up to either Northern Cal or out in the desert, but like nothing in addition to all like the pressure of either whatever it is, making the cut, being in contention, like nothing could ever compare to that. And I mean, I love my home clubs, but I think my thought process was let's be as confident as possible, whether it's on your home course or whatever, just so that you're not having like a panic attack going to these tournaments. And like you just want to be as confident as possible. And that's what I tried. And, you know, I had a couple top 25 finishes and a lot of ups and downs for sure, but nothing that I can't overcome for sure.
Right. So speaking of top 25 finishes, so you didn't have you had a streak there in the majors, top 20 finishes. Then,
I know.
That's okay though. That's okay. Top 25 is still really good. So you have, if I did my research well, five straight majors. You finished in the top 25. 8 straight in top 26. And I don't know if you know or not how much of a stat junkie you are, but in your last 15 major starts, you finished out of the top 26 only twice. So you have
check me out. Oh man.
So that's going back to 2017.
Yeah. Let me see. I think I had a really good finish at KPMG. Oops. Sorry for that. Sorry. Someone was calling me. Yeah, that seems so long ago, but I don't know. I like majors. What can I say?
So that's the thing. There's A&A, it's played at the same course. Evian's played at the same course, but the other courses all vary. So what this means is that you're ready to play in the most difficult fields, the most difficult conditions, and at a variety of different courses. What is that something that you've always you just enjoy playing golf anywhere, or you like playing golf everywhere, or what's the key to that consistency? What do you think is the key to that consistency?
I think it's just the fact that I can play anywhere. I think my game is very adaptable, and my game is very simple. And I think during majors, I rely on the simplicity and my consistency, and I try to be boring as possible. Just hit the fairway, hit the green. You know, my range, my birdie putts made range is outside 10 feet. So if I could just give myself a good look at birdie, or, you know, my short game is typically pretty good. So I'm able to either get up and down or limit, you know, big numbers. And I just try to stay, you know, as positive and confident as possible. And I think the people that have been around me, meaning my caddies, you know, changing that mindset to not try to be a hero, and, you know, par is ultimately a good score, you know, at US Opens, British Opens, Evian, it's not a bad thing. So I rely on that, and it's resulted in really good finishes. And so I think I should just do that every week.
Yeah, it's a great idea. So, okay, this is hopefully my last stat, because I don't want to be like the stat guy. It's just very interesting. So I could have gone back even further, but going back to 2015, just something I think is very key to your success too, especially at the majors. your ranks in driving accuracy. So from 2015, 6th, 7th, 4th, 11th,
Oh, I thought you meant
6th,
so,
3rd.
no, it's there.
What?
I thought you meant driving distance. I was like, no, let's not go there.
Driving accuracy. You're
Oh,
in the
okay.
you're in the fairway.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
One of the most consistent players year in, year out, hitting fairways. Currently this year, you're 3rd. So like in so in a week like last week at A&A, obviously, look, we all saw when that ball was in the rough, it was gone. There's players like not even getting it out of the rough after hitting it there. So when you're in the fairway, even if you're not, you don't talk about your distance. Even if you're not as close to some of the other players, being 180 from the hole in the fairway at A&A is probably better than being 150 in that rough. Like actually having shots that you can somewhat control.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen the rough like that at ANA, just because, it turned into Bermuda because of the overseed and the time of year. And we practiced being in the rough a few times. We're like, we don't want to be in here. The few times that I was in the rough, I was, either pretty lucky with the lie or I was in the first cut. And also, like, I wasn't trying to be a hero on, trying to get as close to the green as possible, just kind of chip out, give yourself a good number and rely on your short game to get up and down. But I think I only did that once where I had to lay up really, really short. I was having trouble with the driver earlier in the week, but I think just being in game mode and being zoned in kind of triggered my body to do whatever it needed to do to hit fairways. And, as you start hitting more fairways, I get more confident and I just get into a rhythm. And I was just really fortunate to have a reliable driver that I have not switched in 3 years.
Same driver for the last 3 years.
Right, okay. Last 3 years.
So, like you said, like, boring golf. But that's the thing, like, fairway, for the entertainment value, it is fun. Like, people on TV, like, watching on TV, it's fun to see players kind of navigate how they navigate the rough. But I would rather 1,000,000% always be in the position you were, just fairway, fairway, fairway. Do you feel like you said game mode? Was that like a real, like a thing that no matter even if you're struggling a little bit on the range, maybe like you can kind of switch it on the golf course? That's something you feel you've been able to do or can do pretty often?
I try not to. Like, I try not to hit bad shots on the range. But
right.
Difference. I did notice last week. I didn't really have a lot of good range sessions. And I think there's just like a game switch where instead of being too mechanic, I try to, like, this is something I learned in junior golf, like, be relatable to your target. Like, as the more you, like, relate to your target and your body just, like, adjusts to it. I don't know. It's just like a body mind thing. But as soon as I hit the first tee shot and hit the fairway, I was like, okay, like, you can settle your nerves. Like, it's still there. And I just try to repeat the same routine. And I don't know, it tends to work. And I have to slow myself down sometimes just because of the adrenaline and, you're just excited to be out there. But it's all just like a mental process, and not trying to be 10 steps ahead and, looking at the leaderboards, and, you can put yourself in a really good position on Thursday, and you can also, like, be out of it for sure.
Right. I feel like you put in the reps. Like, I've seen, like, you post on, like, share on Instagram, social media, like, your swings at the range and stuff, and you're like, your coach is like, great shot, or sometimes when he's teasing you too, but like, you put in the reps. So even, like, I feel like you just, at this point, you've played so many rounds of golf, you just know to like, I'm gonna be okay. Once I get on that first tee, and once you get that first tee shot, like you said, in the fairway, kind of feeling a little more at ease.
Yeah. I don't think. Well, I try to put in as many reps as possible. I don't feel like I have prior to the start of the season. But I definitely put in my reps from when we start July till now, to the point where like my forearms are like hurting, like my wrists are like I have to tape up my wrists, like. But that's just all part of the process. Like, you know, your muscles aren't used to certain things, and yeah, I've definitely tried to like I believe in muscle memory. So the more reps that I put in, my coach does not believe in muscle memory, so we get in arguments about it. But I believe in that's what counts. But and my caddy does too. So I try to, you know, the week before ANA, I couldn't practice because I was in a lot of pain in my forearms and my hands. So ANA, I relied on a lot of my muscle memory of the reps that I have put in weeks prior. And yeah, I try not to be a range rat. And sometimes my caddy has to cut me off saying, okay, like you're done, let's go. No, one more. I can make it better. But yeah, I definitely try to put in as many reps as possible.
Yeah, I feel like that's interesting to know. So that 5-week stretch, like it took a little bit of a toll, huh?
Oh yeah,
Like
definitely. Like I said earlier, the most weeks I've been out on the road since probably my rookie season, and I mean I'm not as young as I used to be, so I really have to manage how I practice. And you know, you're hitting on different types of turf, and you know, in Scotland is cold, it's firm, and I have a tight like really hard grip pressure. So I mean, it all comes with the territory, and thank goodness for my PT who has been poking needles in it. So yeah.
and shout out to that week off too.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like as it's great too, like to get in. Did you feel any pressure too to just like play all the events because you aren't sure like how many events will actually stay on the schedule and stuff, or were you just like, I mean, is that something you thought about?
Yeah, it was just a combo of things. I think I was really excited. I wanted to continue that momentum from January. Like I had a top 10 finish in Australia, and I'm like, okay, it's there. Let's try to build up as many points, whether it's for Solheim or the Olympics or whatever it is, because you just don't know what the rest of the year is going to look like. And yeah, I mean, we saw a couple cancellations in our tournament schedule. So yeah, I just I'm playing in everything from now on. Hopefully, you know, cross fingers, I don't injure myself, but yeah, that's what my season looks like.
Well, shout out to your trainer. I know you stay working hard, keeping your body as ready as possible and is recovering well.
Yes, recovery is key now.
Okay, Solheim Cup. I do want to talk about Solheim Cup. So first of all,
yeah,
4 Solheim Cup appearances so far. What has been your favorite moment? If you could, okay, maybe I'll give you a choice. Maybe you could go for a couple, because I know it's probably difficult to narrow it down to like one defining moment. Maybe you can though.
Well, the top one is 2017. When after I had won my match versus Jody, we secured the cup in home soil, and I was wrapped in the American flag. And you know, I have, you know, pictures of that moment, and just the process to be on that team. The partners I had that week, I played with 2 rookies, Danielle and Angel, who are my closest friends. And I have, you know, probably the best record I've had so far at a Solheim Cup. yeah, it was a really cool moment, and to have my parents there. And I mean, I've talked about this before, but just like being a daughter of immigrants, and what my parents had to go through to to be here, and for us to like be in that moment, it was pretty special. And then a second would probably be, oh man, Glen Eagles was really fun. I think my match versus Anne Van Dam is probably number 2, just because she hits a far. I don't. Really tall. I'm not. And it came down to my match just to stay alive, and I came out with the W, and I was down early in the match, and it was cold, and I don't do well in cold weather, and it was a lot, but the crowds weren't in my favor, but I ended up winning that match, so it was pretty cool.
Do you feel like that gave you sorry,
you're getting choked up? Oh, it's
do you think that environment like helped you, like feeling like people are kind of against you, or not everyone that's there, just like the important people, the people that were there supporting you were like important people in your life, but the overall feeling like of kind of like they weren't cheering for you, so did that help? Do you think that helped you?
Yeah, I mean, not to like I kind of felt like that my entire career, like in junior golf, college, like no one really had high expectations for me or thought that I was gonna exceed or whatever. So like to have people not root for me, like I thrive off of that. And also when you're playing Solheim Cup, like, and you're playing overseas, like, Europe does not like you. And that if you're doing your job, like, it's silent. And so that motivates me to like make them quiet. And so early in the match, like they're all pumped, and then like towards the middle they started getting like quieter and quieter, and then you just heard a lot of USA chants towards the end, and that just is the ultimate motivation. Because that week you're not really playing for yourself, you're playing for your teammates and your country, and the people watching at home. So I try to give the best show I can, and it worked out in my favor that week.
Yeah, I feel like that has to feel so good too. Just like, also probably a little frustrating sometimes if you're playing with someone that hits it a lot further than you, but it has to feel like so good just to like, you might hit it like 30 or 40 yards past me on the tee, but I still won.
It was more like 60, but
60.
Yeah, it was really bad on the first hole, but I hit the fairway, which is fine.
Hey, there it is.
And I mean, I knew like the night before who I was playing against, and I had played with her in the first match when I played with Danielle, and it was her and Suzanne, and I already knew like how her game was and what I had to do to just give myself a chance to win. And I think I relied a lot on my experience too, because it's draining emotionally, physically. And so my job was to play my own game and not like overdo it. I think like get the crowd riled up, get like that's going to happen if I keep winning holes. Like I'm not going to go down that route and do something that I'm not used to. Like I'm a very emotional person, but I'm not going to like use up my extra energy to rile up the crowd. Like they see the score, and like my team is happy. They're like, what is that? Like, but yeah, I relied a lot on my experience, and I had a lot of confidence going into Solheim Cup, so I didn't want to change anything.
Right. You mentioned how like emotionally and physically draining it is, but it's like it's the whole week though, right? So
Oh yeah.
when I talked to Megan and Annie, shout out two of your
Yeah, my pod sister.
pod sisters. They're rookies, so they had a lot of stuff that they never experienced before. But they talked about how the week was just like I feel like they can never get a break. Like there's dinners and you're meeting with people and it like parties and it's like press conferences. You have like everyone's being interviewed on a typical tournament week. It's just like there's a few people like if it's your hometown, if you won the tournament before, top players like. So you're not always like, but this week it's all the time. Can you like what are some of the like a week? Can you just talk about like the Glen Eagles week? Not on a basic kind of rundown of the week.
Well, I'm jealous because they actually got to go to the merchandise tent. I was so busy that I couldn't even go.
Wow.
But let me see. We get there Sunday. We have team dinners every week. We have team meetings every week, every day. We have, when we get there, we have to try on our clothes. We have to unpack. Most of us didn't get our bags, so we're on the phone, like trying to locate our golf bags. Let's see, Tuesday or Monday, obviously that starts practice rounds every day. You have to figure out who's playing with who. Julie either like gives you partners to practice with or potential partners. There's welcome dinners, there's galas, there's a lot of prepping for that, like hair, makeup, dresses, all that stuff. Press conferences, media, just like B-roll and things like that. And also like Ping is a big sponsor of the tournament. Me being a staff member, I have to do some things for them. Let me see. Then come Thursday night, like it's opening ceremonies and you're just like, holy crap, it's happening tomorrow. And they announce the pairings for Friday morning, and you're either on the tee playing or you're there supporting your teammates, and it's a lot. And especially I played 36 on Saturday and I was exhausted with those conditions and I was just tired, and I went straight to dinner and then I went straight to team meeting and then straight to the shower to bed because Sunday was a big singles match and you hardly see your people, like your family, because you see them on the first tee right before you tee off, you see them after. I was like, okay, I gotta go, see you tomorrow. And you're just on the go. And I try to tell the rookies that are in my pod, like, just relax, take it in, enjoy the moment, because you're just going to be on the go starting Monday morning. So yeah, that's a nutshell of what happens.
Yeah, it could go so much deeper, I'm sure. But, but that does show, I think, probably adds to your confidence too. Like, the whole week, like going up against someone who doesn't have experience in the Solheim Cup, like playing Anne Van Dam and like the singles, but someone like how to cope with things, even though it's exhausting. You're at least mentally prepared. Like, that it's going to be a long week. That each day, like, it's going to be filled with different obligations and things, because like that experience is really important. So I remember in 2017, young naive Ben, when Jessica Corda got hurt and Julie needed to replace her. I remember thinking, I was like, it should be Nelly, not just because of the sister. I thought she was playing well, but she was a rookie on tour and she didn't have experience. So she picked Paula, who hadn't necessarily been playing super well or as well as she had been in the past. So I was thinking like, I think it should be Nelly. Like she's playing better and da-da-da. But you get to the week and realize Paula has that experience. She loves that event, first of all. And how important everything else is. It's not just like how good you play golf, which is kind of interesting. Like there is actually more to it than just like, oh, you're a better golfer or a better golfer at this moment. That experience is a big part of it.
Oh yeah, there's that pick was very controversial. But at the same time, like we had a lot of trust in Julie, and as much backlash or as many like negative comments she got, like her gut feeling was ultimately the best because Paula has had, a record in Solheim Cups. She's really a good teammate. If you're her partner, like she's legit. And she knows what it takes. Like she's a major champ. She's won like countless times on tour. And I think that's what you need at a Solheim Cup. And, she thrives under under that environment. And she really played well that week. And I think her partner was Austin. And I think Austin needed a partner like Paula. And at the end of the day, it resulted in really good in points and for us to win the cup. But yeah, I remember, those few days and when Jess pulled out and we weren't sure who was going to step in. And there could have been a lot of different scenarios. It could have been Nelly. It could have been Mo Martin. It could have been who else? This is like 3 years ago. I can't think that far. There could have been like a lot of different people, but at the end of the day, Paula was a great pick, and we got the job done.
Yeah, and I just think that that's important for fans to realize that, because as a fan of other sports and including golf too, but just realizing that there's a lot more. Like it's so easy to criticize, no matter what it is. Again, but we don't know everything that's going on, and we don't know everything that goes into a decision. And obviously, like Julie, Hall of Famer, legend, like, and a great captain. Like you played with her, for her several times. All 3 times, right? 3 times.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah, for sure.
So speaking of captaincy, that's what I'm curious. If somewhere long down the road, after you played many more Solheim Cups, if the opportunity to become captain presented itself to you, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I wouldn't even think about it. I would do it in a heartbeat. Like that's one of the greatest honors that you could be given. And I think as I get older, I start thinking about post golf and I would start thinking like who my assistant captains would be. I already asked Danielle, like, can I be your assistant captain? When she gets the call. I've been on 4 teams and I've seen like the different types of personalities within like the captains and assistant captains, and how the dynamic is very different, but how it works. And so I know it's a lot of work, and I know Julie is like exhausted after those 2 years of prepping for it, but I think it's all worth it. And even if like win or lose, like it's still one of the biggest honors you could be given. So if I could not only be a playing player on the team, but also like an assistant or a captain down the road, I think that'd be really nice on my resume.
Yeah, I would agree. Okay, yeah. How about one? Can you take us behind the scenes? Like, what's one thing that happens during the week, or has happened during the week, that would like surprise people? That's not like, TMI. That's not too much information.
Not too much information. I'll just tell you guys the last 2 Solheim Cups. I've cried, not in a good way. I've cried like on a Wednesday or so, like just not drama, but they're just like unnecessary things that happen. Like we're not going to go into detail, but there's just like it's not all smooth and like things like that. So, and I'm a very emotional person, and it's a really important week. So sometimes I get my feelings hurt, and what do? I cry. So yeah, it's just a lot of emotions go through the week, and obviously like you want to perform at your best, and sometimes just things happen and you have to resolve. And I don't like confrontation, I don't like conflict, and I just cry. So yeah.
Well, I relate. Well, obviously not playing like Solheim Cup or any major golf event, but the confrontation part, not a fan of that. And but I do think that shows though, like how much you care, how much like everyone's invested in that week. Like it's a really big, important week for everyone, and like it's not going to go smoothly all the time, but
yeah. When you get like 15 women, like you're bound to get either bumping heads or disagreements, or someone's on their period, or things like that. So it's something always tends to happen, but as soon as Friday morning hits, everyone puts their differences aside, and your ultimate goal is to put a red point on the board, and all smiles and fist pumps from there.
It's game time.
Yep.
Okay. Your rookie year was 2012. 2012. Say that, not a question. It was in 2012. What has changed the most since then? Like on the tour, and then for you personally?
Wow. Well, on the tour, obviously a lot more opportunities for us as professional athletes, like more TV time, more events, higher purses. Our fan base has gone up. I think our involvement with girls golf, the numbers have been climbing every single year. The amount of talent and competitiveness each like rookie class has gotten so much better. I feel like scores have gotten deeper just because of that. And I think just the level of entertainment too has leveled up. For me personally, man, we're going in the archives. I feel like I've changed. My game has changed, but meaning I'm able to hit more shots, and but I feel like after last year, I've really developed into who I really am, and playing happy instead of playing with that chip on my shoulder like my entire career, and that took a lot of adjusting. And because it's very exhausting trying to play to prove other people wrong, and to just it just takes a toll. So last year was the first year that I finally was able to play for myself, and really I was just a very happy person. I mean, I still am happy, but just last year was like a big turning point. I turned 30, and everyone's like, people tend to think like, oh, you're past your prime once you're 30. And I feel like I have a lot of good golf left to play. And so, yeah, I think that's the biggest difference.
I agree that you have a lot of great golf left to play. I've seen it. You've seen it in the results. But that is wild, like the past your prime, like that's common, because there was especially on the men's side, but it's pretty similar for the men and women. Just it used to be like 30 was like you're entering your prime in golf. It used to be. And I know Tiger changed a lot of that with his early like young success. But the women's tour has like, it does seem like there's always on the LPGA, it does feel like there's always like someone coming up, like a young, I mean, you had a teenager as the number one player in the world, like Lydia Ko, and she was like, what? Whoever, you probably would have never thought about something like that.
Yeah.
But it is wild how that's kind of changed. But at the same time, we've seen more veteran players have success because look, you know what it takes. You have one win, and you've had a lot of close calls, and you're like, but you know, like it's there, and you're giving yourself so many chances.
Yeah.
I think that's all you can really do because like yeah.
Like not just we already saw it in Stacy, like coming back after having Chesney, and she was on the team last year at the Solheim Cup, and so the fact that you could be a mom and still play at the highest level and still win, like she won the Scottish Open for goodness sake, like that was just so inspiring. And she has that work ethic, and she was number one at one point in her career. So like that itch and that motivation like never leaves you. I mean, I know her personally, so like I wasn't surprised she won again because that's just how Stacey is. But it's super motivating for the rest of us who are 30 or over 30 and our moms, like that we could still do it. I mean, Serena Williams is doing it in tennis, like basketball, like we're just women, and sports are just, we're changing, we're evolving. And I say we, like I'm not even a mom, so like I don't even know. Over 30.
Oh, I got you.
Evolving.
Well, you keep the like in women's sports as well. So you mentioned Serena, maybe my favorite athlete like ever. She's awesome. She won the Australian Open while pregnant. Like I think Australian Open. She won a major while pregnant. What the heck? Like
no one even knew. No one even
knew. But it is really cool. I mean, there's lots of like the LPGA. I think from my experience, of course, I'm not a mom and I'm not like diving deep into that world, but from my outside perspective looking in, having like the care that the like child care that they offer to the moms on tour, like how much of a burden that back many years ago that would not really be a possibility. Like you'd have to have a babysitter, pay someone a ton of money, but like having that, like Stacey could relax a little bit, like Brittany Lincecum, she can relax a little bit, like knowing that there's
I mean, we things have changed dramatically. Like when like Lopez was on tour, and, Mom of Three, and when Julie was on tour and Pat Hurst was on tour, like they had to bring their own babysitters, their own nannies, and I think Julie brought her mother-in-law. Like it was just a different time. But now that LPGA has really taken into consideration like what we need to really play our best, and to bring in like our daycare staff and what they offer the babies, like it's really like a game changer. Because I mean, I can't speak for myself, but for the moms, like just to be able to have that peace of mind that your child is being taken care of, and you could still enjoy what you love to do, which is compete. I think, it's the best of both worlds. And at the end of the day, you come home to your baby and, you're in mom mode. So I think it's really great.
Yeah. I definitely believe that besides Stacey's natural drive, I think having that kind of that piece. Well, now she played really well at A&A. Like that's, it is really cool to kind of see her resurgence, and I
The
think
big word.
it.
Would
Yeah,
never use that.
it's too big for me. Okay, a few quick questions to end.
Okay.
I know the answer to this, I think, but I just want to hear your thoughts on
Oh.
it. When it's cold, earmuffs or a hat?
Earmuffs. That's my signature look.
I know that was a funny take. The Golf Channel, this little skit they did with you and Patrick.
So Jerry, okay, quick story. Jerry just wanted to put that in there. It's not. No one ever calls me Muffy, and even if they did, I would not answer to that. No,
That is not Lizette's nickname, Muffy.
it's the no, not even in the ballpark.
Okay, favorite food?
Tacos,
Tacos? I had some last night.
tacos in LA by the USC hospital. It's the best.
She goes, a very specific.
I'm very
specific taco.
Yep.
Okay. In the world, pre or post pandemic, where's your favorite place to travel?
Mexico.
I like it.
But I would also want to travel. I would also want to go to Italy, London. I would like to experience like full London. Like, yeah.
Nice. Me too. I've been, stuck in the U.S. for so long. What's your favorite song at the moment?
Oh man. Favorite song. I don't know. So like, okay, people are gonna laugh at me, but I'm really stuck on like 90s music, and so there's this DJ who that was so embarrassing. There's this DJ who like played this like live stream 1 hour thing on Instagram, and so like I found it on YouTube and I've been listening to that. Like that's my pre-round warm-up jam, and it's like a lot of oh man, this is so embarrassing. Like all my 90s people would know what I'm talking about, but it's a really good mix and it's a lot of like freestyle music. So that's
Okay. Yeah, whatever works. No, it's really funny because I mentioned that, or I asked Jennifer Chang when I talked to her the other day, same thing. And I got the idea from this, like when I talked to Mina Haragai a few months ago, or a couple months ago, I found an old clip of her, like 10 years old, when she was a rookie on tour. They did take this video, like get to know Mina.
Yeah.
And they asked her like her favorite song. She was like, it's like Three Doors Down. Like, anyway, I brought that up to her. She forgot completely. She's like, and she just started laughing because, I think we evolve, like our taste in music and stuff evolves, but also like what we're listening to at the time. I just think it's interesting. So you're with the reliable though. So you say 90s. I know you like 80s music too. So you just like, you can't go wrong. You pick that, you have that era and
I mean, the 90s were a really good era, and I'm all about being anything that brings like happiness or positivity to me. So that involves music. And I feel like the 90s bring a lot of positive and like refreshing memories of just like childhood, family, or whatever. So like 90s R&B, a lot of like stuff I listened to in middle school, like just things like that. A more simpler, happy time, I guess, pre-pandemic. So it's yeah, and I feel like I'm an old soul, and I'm the youngest. My sister's 10 years older, so I grew up with a lot of their music, and I love to dance. So like my aunts would listen to all these different freestyle music, and that's LA. Like that's what it's all about. And I don't know, I just feel happy when I listen to it. Patty laughs at me like, "Are you like jamming out?" I'm like, "Yeah, don't bother me. Like this is really good music."
Okay, funniest thing that has happened to you or that you've seen at a tournament?
Fun thing that's ever happened to me. Oh my God. Or the funniest thing I've ever seen? Oh my God.
Nothing. Never. It's all serious all the time.
I don't know. Pass on that one.
Pass. Okay.
Because, yeah, dig for that one.
That's okay.
I did hit someone. I hit. Okay, no, funniest that's ever happened to me. Oh, well, now it's funny. So in Hawaii, 2017. No, 2017. Wait, I can't remember. 2018. Cole was on my bag. We're in Hawaii. It was the second round, and I had missed a short putt on the second hole. And I was really upset, and like I took my putter and I whacked my bag, and which I don't do anymore sometimes. But I then next tee shot I took out my driver and I was like doing my pre waggle, and my driver snapped. I was like, okay, 3-wood, and like I played the rest of the round with my 3-wood. And I shot 60. I think I shot 69 that day. And then like my mom was on the phone, like my trainer's on the phone too, just trying to get, my ping rep to, if there was a ping rep around in Hawaii, like, and then after the round they had a few options ready for me, and I think I played like the last 2 rounds or the final round with a new driver shaft, and yeah, I've never hit my bag ever again.
So like. The snap at the head?
Like literally mid shaft. It was
mid shaft.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you can laugh about it now. Also glad you finished under par. That's good. That's good.
It was a lot.
Okay. Final segment. We're gonna do a 1980s song draft. Our best or favorite songs. And this is obviously a little subjective, but we'll pick one at a time, top 5 picks. And you can go first.
First pick of my 1980s music draft would be Queen, Radio Gaga.
Okay.
Yeah.
My first pick, How Will I Know? Whitney Houston.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just taking Whitney. This is like, it might be subjective. It is subjective, but Whitney is the GOAT to me, the greatest singer ever. So I want to take a song of hers from the 80s. So
very nice. That's a very good pick. My next pick would be Blue Monday, New Order.
Blue Monday, New Order.
You have heard that, right? Okay. Well, we're going to let that slide. I'm going to send you the links to get you can know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Sounds good.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to go with, I don't want to get like too like mainstream, but at the same time, kind of classic. Living on a Prayer, Bon Jovi.
Okay. Good choice.
I feel like you can just like jam out. It comes on and everyone's like rolls with it.
That's a good one. Okay, this is from my favorite movie, Dirty Dancing. It's not the main song. It's Hungry Eyes. I think it's like Eric. Something like that. Yeah. Hungry Eyes.
Okay. Can you sing it?
No, absolutely. No.
Just kidding. I'm not singing anything. I'm not thinking of that exact song, but I'm sure I would know it since I heard it or watched the movie again. Refresh my memory. Let's see. All Night Long, Lionel Richie.
Okay. Are we on 4?
This is your 4th pick, yeah.
Okay, it's from my favorite band, The Cure. It's not like one of their top mainstream songs. It's called A Night Like This. I'll send you a link for it. It's like, I'll send you the music video. It's really cool.
Okay.
But yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Dang it. I guess Billie Jean. Michael
Okay.
Jackson.
Okay. I like that song. Why did I put Michael Jackson in there? Oops. But my last pick, dang it. I can either go like upbeat, dance, or I'm just gonna go Purple Rain, Prince.
There it is. Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Can never ever go wrong.
Yeah. I feel like my 5, you don't know the song, you don't know what song I'm talking about, but
oh, I know that one.
yeah, that one
like,
you know.
Because that was a major moment in my life when he did the greatest Super Bowl halftime performance ever. In the rain, singing Purple Rain, and the Colts won. My team, my home state team, ended up winning. So,
Well,
you know, good memories. My last pick.
And well, can I guess? Can I guess? Is
okay.
it an artist or a band?
Artist.
Oh shoot! Never mind. Okay, I don't know. Wait, no, I don't know.
Time After Time. Cyndi Lauper.
That's a good one.
I know that.
Put like Bohemian Rhapsody in there or something. Like,
look, I, because honestly, this is a problem. 90s baby, but when I like hear a song, I know all these songs, but I couldn't tell you for sure that it's from the 80s. That's the problem. So I had to look up like.
oh my god.
I had to look up to make. I was like, oh, that's the 80s. Okay.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
I must say, your picks are pretty good.
Oh, thank you. I think
mine go off like people don't really know most of these songs, but I like them. So.
Well, that's what's important, right? What makes you feel good? And I think I appreciate you're gonna expand my music catalog. What I listen to.
Of 80s jams that you just need to listen to.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Okay, Lizette, I appreciate you taking time. It's good to catch up, and I really hope this smoke clears out for everybody on the West Coast, and hope you have a good practice today, wherever that is or may be.
Yeah, I think they actually opened practice facilities for a little bit, so I probably won't play the. I'll just hit balls.
Yeah, don't fill those lungs. Don't rush it too much.
I know, but thanks for on. This was fun.
Yeah,
finally did it.
Yeah. Yes.
Podcast.
I know you were upset that I didn't call you earlier, but
Right,
you're here.
Priority list. It's cool.
Nah, that's not how it is. But
I'm just kidding.
We'll catch up again sometime soon. Good luck this week. Yeah. Ball out. Lots of birdies.
All right. Bye.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to episode 11 of Pitchin' It with Ben. If you liked what you heard, please like, rate, comment, subscribe, and share. See you in episode 12.